Five, four, three, two, one. Welcome back to the Fever Pitch Podcast. I'm your co-host Brian.
And I'm Dan. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. A lot has happened in these past few days, and we got a lot to talk about. So let's just hop straight into it. So, did you hear the 49ers after their 10-point lead was blown? They fired their defensive coordinator, Steve Wilks. Did you hear about this?
Do what?
They fired Steve Wilks.
The DC.
Yep. I don't
The
understand this move because I feel like all the mistakes they made were kind of offensive related. I think the defense played great during this game.
the DC only allowed 25 points to Patrick Mahomes, and he got fired.
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan still has a job.
Yes, he does.
The same Kyle Shanahan that blew a 28 to, he coached the offense that blew a 28-3 lead in the Falcons Patriots Super Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the same Kyle Shanahan who in 2020, who was the DC in 2020? They had a 10-point lead in the 2020 Super Bowl against Kansas City. The same Kyle Shanahan blew a 10-point lead there, right? Who was the
Yes.
DC that year? Let's see. That was 2020. The defensive coordinator was 2019, 2020. Defensive coordinator was Robert Saleh. He's not the Jets head coach. So Robert Saleh has a job. Kyle Shanahan has a job, but Steve Wilks is fired. Um, he looks like us. So he's a fall guy because he looks like us. And it's very disgusting because I think he did a very fine job. And the fact that he's getting the flack for this is ridiculous to me.
Yeah. And to briefly give you his history as a coach, he's been coaching since the 90s.
Hmm.
Um, he started off at Johnson C. Smith University.
I think I
Uh,
remember that.
I think it's like a Presbyterian affiliate. Oh, it was HBCU
Yeah.
in 95. Then he went to Savannah State, and then he became the head coach there. Illinois State, DB's coach, Appalachian State, a lot of colleges. And then around 2006, he became the DB's coaches for the Bears, then for the Chargers, Panthers. He was with the Panthers for a while, and then he got the head coach job in Arizona in 2018. And then
Yeah.
it was yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I remember. The Cardinals were in the rebuild and they put the blame on him again, even though they were rebuilding.
So as I look at things, I'm starting to think that Steve Wilks has been the fall guy in a lot of situations because I
Yeah.
don't think he's at all a bad coach. Um,
Mhm.
he's just been put in less than fortunate situations. And with this 49ers defense, I just don't think it's fair.
And so when he had the cup of coffee in Carolina, he took over for, was it Frank Reich? I think it was Frank Reich. He's trash. I so what I think it was Frank Reich. Is it a Frank Reich or Matt Rule? I can check. Both of them are trash. Anyway, he picked up at the week 5 by 6-6. I think that's solid. And that Panthers team wasn't that good. So I don't know why he had to take the heat there. He was a DC. He was a DC in Carolina in 2017. So he was familiar with the unit, and they finished six. Oh wait, that's turnover. That's turnover. About 12th overall in points. Uh, the Cardinals were in the rebuild, so they were awful. The
Mhm.
Browns in 2019, he was the DC. They were 22nd. And then in 2022, he was the head coach of Carolina. They were 23rd. This year, with the Niners, they were third in points allowed and point differential, pardon me. So was this his best showing? Yes. Is his track record the little middle of the pack? Be that, even though it may be, I know a lot of coaches that get a lot of opportunities, even though they're middle of the pack. I got Jeff Fisher, Jason Garrett, amongst others. So he was obviously a fall guy. I think Kyle Shanahan pissed his pants, and they can't fire Kyle Shanahan because Mike Shanahan will raise hell. Because John Lynch used to play for Mike Shanahan when he was a Bronco.
Mhm.
So if
And
John
and
started to
What is John Lynch's position?
John Lynch is, I believe he's the GM for the Niners. He's either GM or yeah. He's the GM for San Fran.
Mm.
He's been the GM there since 2017,
Mhm.
and he most recently took on the role of executive president of football operations. So he's the big joker. He's the big joker there. He played for Mike Shanahan for 4 years, and he in it, and I'm pretty sure he won a ring with Denver, if I'm
Mhm.
not mistaken. No, he won the ring with Tampa before he went to Denver. So him letting go of his former coach's son, that's not gonna go well for him. So he can't. So fall guy, Steve Wilks.
Yeah, because even when you look at this season, the most points they allowed against themselves was versus it might have been the Ravens. Yeah,
No,
the most points was versus the Ravens, which were highly considered the best team in the league.
so
Against the
reverse fall.
powerhouse of the Cowboys, they allowed 10 points. Against the Jaguars, they allowed 3 points. Eagles 19 points. Most teams he's held under 20 points. Um,
You
even the
mean to tell me?
Rams, even when they lost, 21 points.
So you mean to tell me his worst showing was against the second best team in football, and he fired him? Interesting.
Yeah. And even that considered, did you know that in all three Super Bowls that the City Chiefs have been in, they've never received a holding call, not in a single Super Bowl?
That's interesting.
What do you think about that?
That is interesting. I know that Tampa Bay Super Bowl, them O linemen were terrible. So they got, I mean, they found a way to not get a holding call. It was obvious because Levante David and the Buccaneers pass rush was getting home very fast.
Mhm.
Um, the other two San Fran Super Bowls, if they kept Nick Bosa in check without getting a holding call, I mean, hey, so be it. And then the Eagles Super Bowl, same thing with Hassan Reddick. Joe Thuney is a great offensive lineman. Donovan Smith, we spoke about Donovan Smith. He's a Super Bowl champion. He brought for Tom Brady. He's very capable. So, you know, there's holding on every drive, on every play, of every snap. So when the ref decides to throw his flag, is up to him or her.
Ah. So even when you look at things in the totality, yes, Steve Wilks had a very talented defense, but I think the defense did a good job. I think it was primarily the offense not producing and the special teams. There was one play that was questionable where Kyle Shanahan called a timeout because the coverage. I think he was playing. I think they were running zone when they should have been running man during the
Yep.
Super Bowl. I forgot which quarter that was, but I think you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, and that was the only issue I saw. But besides that, I think Steve Wilks should have a job in the league next season. If not as a defensive coordinator, maybe as like a DB coach because that's where he has a lot of his experience. But
Yeah.
um, it's unfortunate he had to be the fall guy because the true guy who should have been fired in this situation is Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah. Or
You,
even who's the OC there?
Kyle Shanahan calls the plays though.
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. But it's like, even if you want to make it seem like something was changed, you could have fired, yeah, Chris Forrester or something, or
Mhm.
like just some other offensive mind there. Because I don't know why Kyle Shanahan had to let go of, you know, his staff. Ironically enough, Clint Kubiak was the passing game specialist for San Fran. He took a job in New Orleans. He's going to be the OC for the Saints next year. So that's that. Um, but yeah, man, I just don't know. I think it's very interesting.
Very interesting indeed, because yeah, and it's even said the headlines are saying that this is a very bad look for the 49ers, which I agree, because with this high-powered defense, and he was only there for one season. He was
Yeah,
DC for one season and they got to the Super Bowl. I mean,
I mean, I think the narrative is going to be that the team was good without him, and the team was good with him. They were good without him. So without him, as long as we keep the players, we'll be fine. Um, yeah. So Steve Wilks was let go. Anthony Lynn took a job. He was the assistant head coach and the running back coach for San Fran. He took a job with the Commanders. Clint Kubiak took the OC job with New Orleans. James Gregg is now the offensive line coach for Vegas, and Daryl Tapp is now the D line coach for Washington. As you know, Adam Peters is the new GM in Washington, and he rubbed a lot of elbows in San Fran, so he's pulling from his niche. A lot of nepotism hires. So heads are rolling, people are moving.
yeah, absolutely. Um, yeah. And speaking
Yeah.
of things going on in the league right now, what do you think will happen with the Bears in this number one overall pick? There's been a lot of chatter about them trading this number one overall pick, um, and building around Justin Fields, or the other route is they trade Justin Fields for picks, and Justin Fields lands where?
All right. So I have three viewpoints.
Mm-hmm.
First one is the least likely one in my opinion. I think they keep Justin Fields and take Marvin Harrison at the 101. I think, yeah, we just straight up the first overall pick, Marvin Harrison. That
Mm-hmm.
is the least likely thing I think is gonna happen. Second least likely thing is they trade back a few spots. So somebody trades up for the first pick, maybe Washington trades up for the 101, and
Mm-hmm.
they take Marv at the 102, maybe Drake May, or just somebody else at the 102, and Washington takes Caleb Williams at the 101. The third option, which I think is a little more logical in my opinion, they take Caleb at the 101. They trade Justin Fields, or they just let him go, and they start fresh.
You think they'll take Caleb Williams and then trade Justin Fields?
Yes,
Like
unless
they'll like
unless
like
unless they get a crazy haul. I'm sorry. Unless they get a crazy haul, which is very possible. I
mm-hmm.
think if they don't like the haul, they'll just take Caleb.
Mm. Where do you think Justin Fields could land in this situation?
I think I think he is bound to be a Falcon. If not now, then in the
Hmm.
future. But if that doesn't happen, I did see reports of the Patriots and the Steelers being interested, and I
Mm-hmm.
can definitely see him in Pittsburgh as well.
Honestly, I would like to see Justin Fields in Pittsburgh. I think that's a good look.
Yeah,
Him, Mike Tomlinson. You have that they have the necessary offensive weapons to actually be very dangerous, but it seems like they've fallen short in the QB department.
right.
So, and Justin Fields is definitely not a game manager. He's a game changer. So,
That
and what we've seen, especially with players that leave the Bears, is that they go on and be successful. Um, for example, even players before they go to the Bears, when you look at Khalil Mack, um, very successful with the Raiders, and then he went to the Bears. He's still successful, but you know, Roquan Smith coming to the Ravens and it being an instant game changer, and things of that nature.
right.
Um, so all in all, I'm very interested to see what the Bears will do with this pick, but I wouldn't be surprised if they trade Justin Fields, but I can also see them doubling down and sticking with Justin Fields. At the end of the day, it is a business, so they're gonna do what will give them the best ROI in their opinion,
Right.
you know. But yeah, until I hear some more news out of that camp of what's going on, it seems like Caleb Williams will go to whoever has the number 1 overall pick. Yeah, and I hear there's talks of the Commanders trading up for the number 1 overall pick and things of that nature too. So
Right.
yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the Chiefs. So first and foremost, on the New Heights podcast, Travis Kelce said it was unacceptable for him to be pushing on Andy Reid like that, and he immediately wished he could take it back. What do you think about that?
Hey, salute to TK for accountability there.
Yeah.
The reality of the situation is things like that just get caught by TMZ, the cameras, etc. But when Draymond iced out Jordan Poole, which was wrong, remember when he punched Jordan Poole in the face in practice?
Oh, Draymond, yeah.
Yeah, which was wrong. It was caught on camera. The footage was sent out to TMZ, and all the wahala with that. So obviously that's not the best moment on camera. And I'm pretty sure even though during the press conference, he cleaned it up saying, "Oh, I was just telling him I love him." Being very PC, which is very respectable. But I also commend him acknowledging his wrongdoing, because yeah, you don't do it to your coach. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think Travis Kelce's brother, blanking
Jason.
Jason, he brought it up to him, and he even said, let me see if I can find it. What did he say? See if I can find it real quick. I can't find it, but off the top of my head, he was like, "Yeah, that was unacceptable, man. Like, I get that you get emotional in those moments. It's a Super Bowl, but that's your head coach. You can't do that." So it was good to see like those brother to brother moments, especially out of them. And shout out to Jason Kelce for doing the good big brother thing and letting his little bro know.
Facts. And I hope you enjoy retirement, Jason.
He's retired.
Yeah, he's silently. So that's a story in itself. So he announced his retirement, but it got leaked. So he was like, I'm thinking about it. I don't know if I'm going to, but I think he's on. He's definitely kind of like what happened to Brady. It's like I don't know if it's been like official announcement, but I think it has been.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the 13-year career, and yeah, I think he's calling it. I think he's calling it. Full-time Eagle, one-time champion, two-time Super Bowl appearance. So yeah. As of 2 days ago, he said he will make his decision in the next couple of weeks. He spoke to Shaquille O'Neal, about his NFL future. And he's saying he's still figuring it out. I think if I still want to play, I'm going to play. I think right now I'm not far enough away from the last game. So he's still weighing it.
I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back for one more season. Final hurrah. Just for the love of the game.
Yeah. I think this was supposed to be that, playing center is a very what's the word? Grueling position, as is all 11, 21 other positions in football. But yeah, center especially is a lot to deal with. So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I hope that whatever the decision is, Jason Kelce, I know that he'll make the right decision. I'm not even worried about that.
Right.
But I'd like to touch on something that I heard happened at the Chiefs parade. Apparently, there was a shooting. 19 were injured, and as of now, one is deceased. So let's take a quick moment of silence for those who suffered the losses during the Chiefs parade. And yeah, that's very unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that happened, and my thoughts and prayers out to those families, especially in a time of celebration and of joy for the city. Somebody decided to mess that all up. Yeah,
Yes.
hope that
The good book says, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted," and that is my prayer for all parties involved.
mhm,
It's definitely terrible news, especially in the heart in the season of celebration. You hate to hear that. I think it's very sad that even in like moments of like of happiness and like good moments, there's still drops of chaos here and there, and you can't overlook that. I just hope all parties involved, all those who are injured, I hope you get the medical treatment necessary. And my condolences to to the individual that lost their life.
absolutely. My thoughts and prayers go out to those families. Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the land of coaches.
Yep.
So the Saints are hiring Rick Dennison as their run game coordinator. Talk to me.
So Rick Dennison, he was a player first. He
Mhm.
played linebacker. So I kind of see, I've noticed that like players who had to defend against certain things end up coaching the thing they defended against the most. Like a DB might be a wide receiver coach. He played linebacker and he's directing the run game. And this isn't his first rodeo. He has a very long resume. After playing for Denver, he took a job as an offensive assistant for a year, and then he moved on to special teams, and then O line, and then OC, and then O line again. This is all with Denver,
Mhm.
and then with Houston for about 4 years, he was the OC there. Went to Baltimore, he was the QE coach there. Went back to Denver to be OC again, and then he was the Bills OC, and then he was the Jets O line coach and run game coordinator, and then he held that exact same position with the Vikings, and then he took an advisor role, and he chilled out for a couple. He chilled out for a couple of years, and now he's back coaching in New Orleans. So very experienced individual. As far as success is concerned, I can't quantify that right now, but you got three rings. Oh, he had three rings as a coach and as a player. My bad. He had three rings as a coach. He was on the Broncos staff in Super Bowl 50. He was also on the Broncos staff in Super Bowl 33,
Yeah,
33, and also in 32. So very, very much experienced individual, been around the game for a long time, and I feel like he'll have an immediate impact.
absolutely, absolutely. I'm surprised with such a long tenured career, he hasn't had the opportunity to be a head coach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, offensive coordinator is right there, but it's like every time he gets right there, he hasn't scratched that surface yet. And maybe I feel like sometimes franchises bring in assistants and coordinator roles just to kind of mold them
Mhm.
until they get to that head coach role. Or maybe they just want to see how you run the offense first, and then if you can, because once you coordinate the offense, if you get elevated to head coach, you have to bring in your own staff,
Mm.
so then you have to develop your coaching tree that way. Based off what I'm seeing here, I guess he's under the Shanahan umbrella because when 1995 the Broncos head coach was, I'm pretty sure it was Mike Shanahan. So
Mhm.
he's a Shanahan disciple in some capacity. So we'll see what relationships and the different things he is going to put in place to run his scheme in Nova.
Mhm. Absolutely. Um, and oh, the current head coach for the Saints, Dennis Allen, he used to be defensive coordinator in 2011 for the Broncos. So I guess that's what
Really?
that overlap in history is. I think what
Yeah.
in 2011, what was he?
2011, what's the guy's name?
Rick Dennison.
Rick Dennison. In 2011, he was the OC for Houston. But in 2009, he's been around the Denver franchise essentially from 1982 to 2009
Okay.
with a 5 year gap between 1990 to 1995.
Okay. So that may be where some of that rapport is coming from. They probably have the same similar network with that Broncos family.
Right.
So who knows? Maybe after Dennis Allen is done, Rick Dennison will get his shot in the Saints in New
Yeah.
Orleans.
Because prior to 2022, Dennis Allen was the DC for the Saints for 7 years under, I guess, Sean Payton.
Yeah.
Yeah. And prior to that, he was the head coach in Oakland. And then before that, he was the DC for Denver. And before that, he was in the pardon me, the Saints defensive line coach. So really, I think that the link here is Sean Payton and Mike Shanahan. Because Sean Payton is now coaching in Denver. So I feel like the overlap is it's just pile on.
Yeah. Do you think Sean Payton is close with the Shanahan family the way with all this overlap?
I wouldn't rule it out. I don't know for a fact, but I wouldn't rule it out.
But I have a question for you.
Sure.
What do you think makes a good head coach? Because even as I'm looking at Dennis Allen's record as a head coach, he's overall has a .343 win percentage, which isn't that good, but I'm sure you have a little bit more insight into what makes a good head coach, a winning head coach, and somebody that's good for a franchise.
So this is a good question. Very good question. First of all, it's all about scheme fitting. So you have to look at where your team is and who you're bringing in. Are
Mm-hmm.
they just a guy? Are they a guy of a guy, or are they the guy? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Prime example. Um, Hold on. Josh McDaniels,
Mm-hmm.
a very good example. So solid OC, awful head coach. His best work is with Bill. As
Mm-hmm.
Bill's OC, he's pretty spoken for it. Once he went to do, Once he would try to do his own thing, all hell broke loose. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I feel like that responsibility, because with an added role, you do more. More is expected.
Mm-hmm.
So those promotions aren't necessarily needed for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Because as a head coach, you oversee everything. So you may be good at making sandwiches, but if you tell someone to make a sandwich like he was you, it's not gonna come out the same.
Mm-hmm.
He can study under you for as long as he can, but the bread he uses and the bread you may use might not be the same. He may toast it longer. He may turn the knot to a four, you turn the knot to a three.
Mm-hmm.
And the final product would never be a one-to-one match. It might still be good, but it's never gonna be how Brian made his sandwich. You feel?
Yeah.
And that's how it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think that differentiator really comes with that leadership experience and understanding that art of delegation, or is it more about being a people person and influencing that culture?
It all depends on the type of coach you are and what type of coach that particular team needs. For example, Dan Quinn, rah rah, get hype, headbanger coach. Dan Campbell, rah rah, get hype, headbanger coach. Mike McCarthy, based off what Skip Bayless says, is kind of, not Mike McCarthy, Mike Zimmer, based off what Skip Bayless says, he's very relaxed, mild mannered, but he has that capability to get hype. Because his default is, just calm, cool, collected. Whereas Bill's a kind of a happy medium. Bill doesn't get rah-rah, but you see when Bill's like turned up,
Belichick.
yes.
All right.
When Bill's turned up, you can kind of see it. His demeanor doesn't really change unless he's like arguing the flag or anything. But like with the media, he's very standoffish, calm. And then let's move it from basketball. Let's move it from football. If you look at basketball, Coach Greg Popovich, with the media, one word answers, very, very, very calm. Tuna salad every day. All you're getting is tuna salad. But without Glenn Rivers, pardon me, you might get tuna salad one day, you might get a ham and cheese the other. At least he has some of emotion.
Mhm.
And the success varies. So what works for one might not work for the other. And the styles vary amongst all. And some people do both. So it all depends.
Absolutely. And quick mention, did you know that Bill Belichick went to high school in Maryland? He went to
Yeah,
high school.
that was hot. Yes, sir.
And did you also know that Dan Quinn went to Salisbury
That I did not know.
and he's in the Salisbury Athletics Hall of Fame?
No wonder he took the job here. He
Yeah.
lucky home for. Hey, salute, home team.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But yeah, very well said. Very well said. And we'll probably have a larger discussion as coaches about coaches as these roles continue to get filled and people start to build out their staffs. But all in all, when you look at what's coming up for next season, who are your early front runners for the Super Bowl next year? Give me your top
Baltimore,
five.
Baltimore will be back. Kansas City will. Whoa, well. No. I'll say it. Kansas City will be back. San Fran, get out of here. Don't care. So Dallas to get out of here. Never bet on y'all again. So you got Baltimore, you got Kansas City. NFC looks disgusting.
Give me
The
the
Eagles
Packers as a
suck.
dark horse.
I'm not mad at it. The Eagles suck. I don't trust the Cowboys, and the 49ers don't move me. So that leaves you with what?
Packers Lions, I'm telling you.
Green Bay, Detroit, Tampa, LA. I think one of those four might be in the Super Bowl coming out the NFC.
Mhm.
Seattle is I gotta see it. They can, but I just gotta see it.
Mhm.
I think the AFC wins the Super Bowl again next year. Either the Kansas City or Baltimore.
So I was doing the math and looking at Super Bowl odds for next year now. If you put $100 on like 5 or 6 teams each, regardless, you come out positive if one of them hits.
In most scenarios, yeah.
Because it's like even the Chiefs right now, they're plus 700 or plus 800, something in that range.
Yeah, it's like
It's fair game right now.
everyone has underdog odds going into the season. As the wheels start turning, the
Mm.
math starts mathing.
So do you think now is the best time to bet on a Super Bowl winner for next year?
I don't encourage gambling, but if you wouldn't do your own research, which you should, um, look at the scope of the land, pick the like it's not really that hard, you know. It's like we're having this conversation now. The Chiefs just went back to back. It's safe to assume as long as they got 15, they're gonna be in the running.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar just won MVP. Lamar just got paid. We know Lamar's track record. As long as the Ravens at 8, they're gonna be in the running. The Bills are the Bills, and Josh Allen does things, so they're gonna be in the running. And then Burrow will be back. Burrow with the 2 AFC championships, they're gonna be in the running. So that's your little mix. Do what you do with your money, but that's a mix in the AFC and the NFC. You can never not count out Dallas. Philly is Philly. Jalen Hurts went to the Super Bowl. That's 2. Matt Stafford won the Super Bowl. That's 3. And the Rams look good. Detroit was just in the NFC Championship. That's 4. The NFC North is up for grabs. So the Packers can catch heat, go on the wild card runs. That's 5. Uh Tampa was just there, 6. So it's like you get an idea of who the potential positives are, and do what you do with your money. Because sometimes the information is right in front of you. You just gotta act on it properly.
Mm, that's fair.
Yeah.
Don't get analysis paralysis. This is not gambling advice.
I know.
So you just mentioned the Chiefs. The Chiefs, fresh off a Super Bowl win, have signed Steve Spagnuolo to a contract extension.
The
Spag.
biggest, the biggest coach bags.
Mhm.
Um, I did some research. He I thought he was the DC for both of the Giant Super Bowls. Well, the '07 and the 2011 one. He was
Mhm.
only the DC for the '07 one.
Mhm.
So I don't know if I mentioned that in the previous episode, but I did my research. But anyway, the biggest Coach Bags, well deserved, and I feel like they call him the one of the, if not the best, if not one of, he's the best big game defensive coordinator in football right now,
Mhm.
and I think his track record precedes him. So it seemed like a no brainer. This defense looks amazing, and he's a big part of that.
I hope they can keep Snead. I hope they have the money for that because it's gonna look different if they lose L'Jarius Snead.
Yeah, it looks like he is slated to hit the market.
Come to the Ravens.
Hey, I mean, it's not a bad place to be.
I mean, if we gotta pick between, I like Geno Stone. If we can't keep Geno Stone, get a L'Jarius Snead because I know Geno Stone is due, and a lot of our defensive players are due for big money. But L'Jarius Snead is also due for big money too. The Ravens front office might have the biggest job out of any team this postseason, sans the Bears with all those picks and
Bears, Commanders.
Bears Commanders.
I guess Dallas wants to. Dallas always has to prove something. So
Yeah, they've had to for the past 29 years
yeah.
or
Um,
28. Yeah.
According to Spot Track, shout out Spot Track. Legarius Sneed's market value would put them around the 10th highest paid corner in the NFL, looking at about 16.3 million on average.
A year?
Yeah.
Well, we probably won't be getting L'Jarius Sneed, but whoever gets him, thank you. Good luck to you guys. But it also begs the question. It's like, do you take the pay cut with the Chiefs because it puts you in the running for another Super Bowl? Or do you take the money? We keep revisiting this question, but
Let's see what Bruce Brown is doing. That's a good person to use for our experiment here. Bruce Brown. For those of you who don't know, Bruce Brown was on the Nuggets team that won the ship. Mike Malone, so you're not going anywhere, and then he signed with the Pacers.
mhm.
Mind you, I said he signed with the Pacers. He was traded to the Raptors this year. The Raptors are tanking, but he's paid. So,
But at what
hey,
cost? I mean, I understand pay for your family, but I think the biggest thing is lifestyle inflation that leads these players to pursuing these contracts.
I hope he enjoys. I hope he's enjoying Canada.
And I hope he'll enjoy Cancun in the off season.
Oh my goodness! Quit that. Go ahead, quit that for me. That was fire. We didn't even plan that. Yeah, 2 year, $45 million deal. He wasn't getting that in Denver, so way to get paid. But now you're not con- now you're not contending, but you're paid. Congrats.
Yeah. The
And only
question.
half of it is guaranteed, so you might not get your other half.
That's true. I mean, he's guaranteed 20 million. But also, right, the reason I ask this is because Mahomes is 7-0 versus Tyreek Hill and has gotten 2 rings since he left.
You played, I think. Wait, he's 7-0 in the playoffs since Tyreek Hill has left.
No, he's 7-0 against Tyreek Hill since he left. He left like 2, 3 seasons ago.
Really?
2 seasons ago, actually.
They played that many times?
Yeah. They played the Dolphins in the regular season this season, and they played them in the playoffs this season. And then I think they played them 2 or 3 times last year also.
It could only be twice because they're not in the same division.
Let me see. I might be.
I think the stat is 7-0 in the playoffs since losing Tyreek Hill, and that would check out because he won 2 Super Bowls, and he was a wild card this year. So that's 3 playoff wins and one Super Bowl, and I think he was a 1 seed last year. So that's a bye, 2 playoff wins in the Super Bowl.
Hmm.
I believe, yeah, he's 7-0 in the postseason since losing Tyreek Hill.
Oh, okay. Could have swore. I mean, yeah. Regardless, he hasn't lost to Tyreek Hill.
That is also true. He's 2-0 against Tyreek Hill. But yeah, I mean, what did you expect? Tua sucks, and the Chiefs are the Chiefs.
Yeah. Oh, just coming in, Geno Smith for the Seahawks, who has a 12.7 million in his contract that will become fully guaranteed on Friday, was informed today that he will remain on the roster through this week, allowing that money to trigger. So shout out to the Seahawks for doing the right thing.
Get paid, get paid.
Yeah.
They wrote you out, Gino, but you didn't write back.
Yeah. The Bears are currently eyeing Mike Evans, and I believe they have the second best odds to get him. What do you think about that?
I think that's a nasty pairing with DJ Moore and Cole Kmet. That offense will be fun in Madden.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know how many wins they're gonna get. I do. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The Bears don't look that bad. And I think that's why they might not take Caleb because they don't look awful.
It's like you take a Marvin Harrison, and then you grab a Mike Evans, and then I think they're in one of the mock drafts. They're also slating to get a something Bowers, Bruce Bowers, or something like that.
Brock Bowers,
Brock
yo,
Bowers.
I think Marv, Brock Bowers, and Mike Evans, the Bears might actually win a couple games
Because they have the number 9 pick right now too. So, and I think Brock Bowers, he's said to be like probably going to be one of the best blocking tight ends there is out there in the game when he comes into the league.
He's going to be. I don't think you should take a tight end in the first round. I think it's very weird, but it's been happening a lot. And they said he's going to be generational.
Yeah, let me pull it up. Shout out to Bears Empire. That's where I get my information. He did the spot draft. This is the situation if they trade the number 1 overall pick. They would get Terry McLaurin, the number 2 overall pick, the number 36 overall pick, number 40 overall pick, and then Commanders first round 2025 and second round 2025. And
yeah, that's not going to cripple the franchise, but they might do it.
I think the Commanders might do it.
Yeah, they might do it.
So yeah, Marvin Harrison with number 2 overall, Brock Bowers with the number 9 overall, Chris Jenkins with the 36 overall, Zach Frazier, center from West Virginia, and Bucky Irving, halfback from Oregon.
Oregon, I like Bucky Irving. He's nice. According to my mock, well, not my mock, Tankathon's mock.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Tankathon. They have Brock Bowers only 5th to the Chargers. But they have the Bears taking Roma Dunze out of Washington at the 9th pick. Roma Dunze has been comped to the likes of I think Steph Diggs. So we're getting let me get an official comp. But being a Stephon Diggs prototype, I feel like that would. Oh, pardon me. He's being comped to Mike Evans. So there you have it.
Ooh. Michael Pittman Jr. said on staying with the Colts, I won't sacrifice my career potential for comfortability. I think he gets it. I think he understands. I think he knows ball.
It is. I mean, they just drafted they also see similarities between Roma Dunze and Devontae Adams, according to Brock Hard. Anyway, I think their franchise just drafted a rookie QB who claimed to be a love child between Cam Newton and Lamar Jackson, a hybrid.
Okay.
So, and when he was healthy, he looked pretty good, and he's returned from injury and he's throwing now. So I don't think you should leave. I think the future is bright there. But if you decide to, Josh Downs, come on down. get some PT because I need you to catch some passes in fantasy.
Okay. Talk to me about the EA release teaser for the new NCAA game, and I'll be right back.
All right. So for those of you who don't know, due to the NIL and a whole bunch of wahala there, we haven't had a college sports game in a decade. Last one was NCAA 14, which is really, really good. So the NIL stuff has been ironed out, as you all know, and EA dropped a trailer for EA Sports College Football. So I don't think they had the license for the NCAA, so it won't be called NCAA whatever, but it's going to be called EA Sports College Football. Same way they don't have the license for FIFA. Um, the official title is EA College Football 25. It'll be dropping in the summer. They dropped the mini trailer this morning, I think, and the full trailer will be coming out in May, and the game is dropping during the summertime before Madden. Um, yeah, unspecified launch dates. It's built off the engines DA uses to build Madden. So yeah, it's college football. It's Madden with a college football skin. So I'm not as excited because Madden is undesirable sometimes. But
You'll buy it
it's
every year,
new.
though. Be honest.
Oh, I mean, yeah, once the price drops. But it's new. So I'm looking forward to it. EA reportedly offered athletes on average $500 per
Mhm.
for usage, and some held out expecting more. EA spent collectively about $5 million combined to get NIL stuff ironed out for players. Um, yeah, be on the lookout for a July release. And the last release was NCAA football 14, which sold 1.5 million copies in the last 5 years after releasing in 2013.
Mhm.
So I'm sure the streets want more college football, so this would be nice.
Absolutely, absolutely. I was looking at the trailer, and when I was watching it, it got me hyped because I've always wanted to play an NCAA game, and I didn't have the console when the NCAA games were initially coming out. I think I was like 6 or 7. So
Mm.
I'm definitely excited for this, and I want to use some of these teams to see how they fare against each other. And it'll definitely be interesting to see the game simulations that people run with this stuff. And I think
Yeah,
it'll add a new wrinkle to the narrative.
I had a roommate in my junior year. Shout out to Josh. He brought his Xbox for a little bit, so I ran a lot of the Road to Glory on NCAA 14. And I
Mm,
felt I just, that nostalgia was really like it did some things. So I remember that. So it's to Josh. Hope you're doing well. And yeah. Mhm.
absolutely. But let's change the temperature. Let's talk about some of these hot takes. All right. So from at NBA draft stats, even with a healthy Embiid, the 76ers are still missing a piece to truly contend. What do you think about that?
Yeah, which is why they got Buddy Hield. And I felt like that was a great deal to trade for Buddy Hield. Take some of that scoring pressure off of Embiid, elevate Buddy Hield, and you guys just have a nice duo there. He's like a diet Harden. I'm not saying he's as good, but as far as the role, go get buckets.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he's gonna do in Philly. So yeah, I feel like they're not championship ready, but a few things might break their way. I think they're more ready than Milwaukee, so that's saying enough. Uh,
Isn't
and yeah,
Embiid out for the
Buddy
rest of
Hield,
the season?
Tyre. You said what? Yeah, you said what?
Isn't Embiid out for the rest of the season?
Uh, is he? Let me see. But I feel like that combination of Tyrese Maxey and Buddy Hield, that's gonna score a lot of points. And in the event that Buddy Joel Embiid is out for the season, um, then damn. But if he's not, then damn. Be on the lookout.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sixers hopeful Joel Embiid can return from injury this season, and that was last week. So
But maybe.
we shall see when he usually already gotten surgery done. So it'll
Yeah.
probably be if I had to project, probably middle of the first round of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Because right now, when you look at them, they're about a 500 team. And looking at this roster, I mean, you let me know if there's really any names that excite you on this roster. But
Ooh, Philly? On Philly?
yeah, I mean, yeah, you got Buddy Hield and Tyrese Maxey, Paul Reed. But outside of that, you got like Mo Bamba, 1 point scored in the last game. Cameron Payne, 2 points. Kelly Oubre. I'm sure he's good for the publicity and stuff, but 9 points. Kenyon Martin, 9 points.
Oh, when they get Kyle Lowry. Okay, they got vets, which is always good to have. Their point guard room is very seasoned.
Mm,
Campaign as a playoff point guard. Kyle Lowry as IBA champion. Buddy Hield gets buckets. Kelly Oubre is a good vet, and Tobias Harris is Tobias Harris. So it's a nice roster. Yeah, they're not winning this year, but it's a nice roster.
absolutely. All right. The second hot take I got to you comes from Adam. He says Jokic didn't deserve to win MVP over Giannis when Bucks were third seed.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Sometimes these award institutions like to miss assign MVP awards
Mm-hmm,
and make up for it on the back end.
mm-hmm.
So, for example, this year or last year, Joker should have won his third MVP. They give it to Embiid. So it happens. LeBron should have won Defensive Player of the Year in whatever year that was. They give it to Marcus Hall. In the NFL, I'm trying to think of some snubs. I can't think of any snubs in the NFL, but it happens. Oftentimes they gotta make it up on the back end. It's like, oh, he was supposed to get it this year, but you know what? We're gonna give it to you next year.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you gotta pull someone down to pick someone up, but that's it's crowds in the barrel and there's powers that be, and it's mental gymnastics that we can outplay.
That's fair. In his MVP season, he averaged, let me see here. In his second MVP season, for clarification, he averaged 13.8 rebounds, which was a career high, 7.9 assists, 1.5 steals, a block a game, and 27.1 points. And in his first MVP season, 8.3 assists, 1.3 steals, zero point 0.7 blocks, and 26.4 points.
Well, you know what? You know what I think they did? The gap between Joker and Embiid was wider than the gap between Joker and Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
I think off that alone, they gave it to Embiid. He was averaging 33 and 10, even though Joker was averaging damn near triple double. I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure he had the 1 seed that year.
Yeah,
So it was like, yeah, and he's playing defense. So it was like, yeah, bro, we're gonna have to get this 1 seed. Yeah, he finished ninth in defensive player of the year voting that year. And then in 2021, 2022, when Joker won it, Embiid was runner up. So it's been a two and a half horse race for like the last 5 years. I think they've all been international players at that. Yeah, Greece, Serbia, and now Cameroon.
yeah, and all I consider Giannis to be a big man. They're all big men.
Yep.
So is the league shifting more towards a bigger style of play? I mean, we saw Curry's era with the small ball and 3-pointers, but now I think size wins.
It's a mix of both. First of all, before I speak on that, Giannis is Nigerian, not Greek. He's Nigerian. My fault.
Yeah.
Second of all, yeah, it's a mix of both because you get scoring from all levels now. Your big men are now playing like guards. Your guards are now posting up, like the likes of like the 6'4" guard is a norm now.
Mm-hmm.
Like back in the day, a 6'4" point guard was like an advantage. Now half the league got 6'4" point guards. So it's like you introduce something, it looks weird, it starts working, and then everybody follows along. The Warriors shoot 1,005 threes a game. The rest of the NBA 1,005 threes a game. Who's buddy? Devin Booker was putting up 70 on 45 shots. All your scorers are putting up shots now. It's just if it works for this guy, we're all going to do it. Adam Silver's NBA. No defense, all offense.
Makes for more entertaining basketball, but
Yeah.
I'm mad at it.
Just the All-Star weekend. This weekend.
Oh, is this weekend? Okay.
This weekend.
Okay.
Great segue. Great segue. Thank you for the live, Brian. No pun intended. Let's start off tomorrow with the celebrity game. I'm pretty sure we covered it before, but if you want me to recover it again, I'm with it. It's up to you.
Oh no, go look at the roster. It's pretty deep. But one thing about CJ Stroud, he scored 40 against what's his name?
Jaime Jaquez from UCLA, right?
Yeah.
Who's playing for the Heat right now. Yep.
Yeah, so hey, I think CJ Stroud is gonna be putting up points. Micah Parsons saying he hoops like that. I don't think he hoops like that. You're a linebacker, buddy.
I think he can. Hey, you seen wait. You seen Myles Garrett? Myles Garrett can get buckets.
But you see, yes, but I think Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons have different builds, right?
Yeah. Myles Garrett is bulkier than Micah Parsons.
But Myles Garrett is also taller. Myles Garrett, how tall is Myles Garrett? Like,
I like so.
Maybe I'm hating. Maybe I'm hating.
Myles Garrett.
Let me know if I'm hating. Myles Garrett 6'4".
6'4". Okay, that's small forward size, and Micah Parsons is 6'1". So that's point guard size.
Oh, Micah Parsons is 6'3". Oh,
6'3". Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Ignore me. I was chatting. Maybe it's just because I'm used to seeing Myles Garrett be a more dominant force in the NFL, and he just won Defensive Player of the Year.
Hey, there it is. But yeah,
so quick thing about Defensive Player of the Year. I know that I'm going all over the place, but the Steelers fans are definitely upset that TJ Watt didn't win. He had the most sacks this year among a lot of other stats that were in the top 5 first category. What do you think about that?
Like I said, sometimes they just gotta. You want it, but we're gonna give it to Buddy because we should have given it to Buddy a few years ago. It was just makeup. It's just makeups. They do it all the time. They do it all the time. You can't do it. Well, you can do it for Rookie of the Year because if you get injured your rookie year, you're a second-year player, but you can still qualify for Rookie of the Year. A la Ben Simmons versus Donovan Mitchell. Like it happens all the time.
Absolutely.
All right.
But yeah, what's going on with All-Star Weekend this weekend? You said Friday.
This weekend. All right, starting Friday, you got the celebrity game.
Mm-hmm.
The teams are the team Shannon versus team Stephen A. Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. So we got the first take All-Star game. Mm-hmm. It's Shannon Sharp and 50 Cent are the two coaches. Their roster is Unravel AA.
Oh, not the roster. The people can find the rosters online.
All right, thank you. And Team Stephen A is Stephen A. Smith, Lil Wayne, and Audrey Wilson are the coaches there. The rosters are the rosters. If you ask me, I think Team Stephen A is gonna smoke Team Shannon. So you got middle row piece and CJ Stroud. I think that's all you need there.
Absolutely.
And T-Jazz. Yeah, they're gonna smoke Team Shannon.
Is the skills challenge on Friday or is that Saturday?
That it will be on Saturday.
Okay.
The only other thing on Friday is the Rising Stars tournament. This is the first time they're doing it tournament style. It should be interesting. I don't know if it's gonna be like reduced scoring or things of that nature, but it's four teams. Yeah, Team Jalen Rose, Team Tamika Catchings, Team Paolo Gasol, and Team Detlef Schrempf. So they're all gonna face off against one another. Three game mini tournament.
Okay.
Research on further details, and then as on Friday, Saturday, you have the HBCU Classic featuring Virginia Union and Winston-Salem State. And then you have All-Star Saturday night, which is 3-point shootout, dunk contest, skill challenge. Sabrina versus Steph. And
Give
then
me
you
Sabrina, bro. Give me Sabrina.
you're delusional. But it's okay.
Listen,
I think Steph is gonna shoot her out the gym. I think I think Steph might take a lead and shoot with the last five with his left hand.
last five with his left hand is crazy. Give me Sabrina, bro. I like Sabrina winning this.
And then you got the All-Star game on Sunday.
Also
Eastern.
games on Sunday.
8 p.m. So this is a 73rd annual All-Star game.
Okay, okay. All right. And then thank you for covering that.
Okay.
The last hot take I got for you before I pass it to you is Rui Hachimura will be an all-star next year. He just scored 36 for the Lakers in this past game, and him and Anthony Davis were the first players in I forgot how many years to both first duo to score 35 plus in a game. And forgot how many years.
I think I said this about, I don't know if I said this here, but I was talking to the homies about Jacob Brunson, and the same things apply to Rui. If you saw him in college, you knew, I think I did say it here. If you saw Rui in college, you knew he can go.
Mm-hmm.
And he went. That's why when the Wizards let him go, I was hurt. I was sick to my stomach. So
Same.
it doesn't surprise me. He's a bucket. He just needs volume. And when he gets volume, he'll give you 36.
Yeah. And then yeah, I'm gonna pass it to you with your Colfax change
All right.
for us.
All right. So in the last 20 Super Bowls, teams wearing white jerseys have an 80% win percentage. The 49ers wore white, and they were the fourth team to lose wearing white in the last 20 Super Bowls. And if I go back, I'm pretty sure they wore white during the COVID Bowl and they lost. So that's true. They've lost 2 out of the last 20 Super Bowls as a team wearing white.
Is that essentially all the away teams?
By definition, I guess. But Super Bowl is neutral ground, so yeah, maybe.
Is it though?
I think so. I see now I'm about to ruffle feathers. I think all matchups are neutral ground. That home and away stuff shouldn't matter at all. Vodka and
Really?
play sport. That's how I feel.
So what do you think about when people consider like the record this past season the Cowboys had? I think they had like a 16-0 run at home
Yeah,
the past 2 years
yeah,
until they lost to the Packers.
yeah. Um, Whatever you can do in Dallas, should have done it in Wisconsin. And that's another thing. When you lose at home, then what? Oh, we were at home and we lost. Wasn't Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers was begging for a home NFC championship. Tom Brady pistol with them badly. So it's like, what is being at home gonna do? What is that gonna do for you? Nothing. Play your game, win.
That's true. I do think that home atmosphere, like some home crowds are crazy. I think it does have an effect.
It matters, but the weight it has amongst the masses is annoying to me. It's like QB wins. QB
Mm,
wins matter, but y'all just treat it like the end all be all.
mm.
A very dumb stat, but I understand it.
Wait, explain the stat. QB wins.
Yeah, like for example, who has a lot of wins? Dang. Are you okay? If somebody was to tell you Eli Manning was better than Cam Newton all time, what would you say?
I would disagree.
Okay, but Eli Manning has more wins. He has more. Super Bowl. He has 2 rings. Cam Newton has no Super Bowl ring. This, then the third. Eli Manning win. So people like to use wins as a fun fact. They both went to SEC schools and were #1 overall picks. I just realized that as I said that. So that's another cold fact for you. Bonus one. So yeah, people like to use wins as like as a barometer, and you should, but the way it's used sometimes is just so nasty. So that's an example.
No, that's definitely a good point. I mean, I think the counter argument to that is that if a QB is winning, since like more agency is the QB is always the second person to touch the ball, you know.
Yes.
So, well, in most
Oh,
formations,
yes.
yeah. So I think
I
the
get it. I get it. And yes, I got homies that say wins over time matter, and I agree. But I feel like the way you use wins in a sports argument, if you don't do it skillfully with any stats without context, are just noise. If you don't add context,
mm,
because that's like me saying, "Who's a backup that has winning rings?" Chase Daniel. That's what I'm saying. Chase Daniel is better
who?
than exactly. That's what I'm saying. Chase Daniel is better than Jalen Hurts because Chase Daniel has 2 rings. It's like you gotta use sound logic when you're making these arguments. Shout out Chase Daniel. Mm.
That's fair. I bet. What else you got for us?
Um, speaking of wins, what a segue. Jim Harbaugh has the highest win percentage amongst active NFL coaches.
How many NFL rings does he have though?
This one,
Zero. So yes, I think he's a great coach, but I mean, this past year he showed that he can coach his way to a championship, be it as a in college.
you have the best players in the world. So yeah, I hope
But
so.
yeah, be it as it may it being in college. I think he's shown that he's able to build a winning culture. So
Oh, he in 1995, he played quarterback for the
Ravens.
the Colts, and he was a Pro Bowler, had the highest passer rating.
Jim Harbaugh?
Yeah, and was comeback player of the year
I thought Jim Harbaugh played for the Ravens too.
in 1998.
Oh, okay.
He's in the Colts ring. He's in the Colts Ring of Honor. Colts Ring of Honor.
Jim, what a guy. Um, Jim is a winner, right? And I
Yeah.
think when selecting coaches, right, an important thing to consider is what is this person's track record as a not only a player, as a coach, and what do they do in life? Are you a winner in life? And that's why, like when we were talking about earlier, like the coaches who have like those sub 400 records, it's like, why would you have a guy who has a sub 400 record as your head coach? Sans
Yeah.
like large enough sample size. If I give you if I give you 3 or 4 seasons and your record is sub 500, regular season and postseason, then what are we doing here?
Oh, actually, Jeff Fisher has a 51% win percentage. Just, but he has like the second most 8 and 8 seasons of all time. So
Yeah, I mean, he's average, you know. There's nothing wrong with that. Sells tickets.
yeah.
But
On
yeah,
the contrary, I'm trying to think of somebody with like a very bad win percentage. Let's go with Greg Schiano.
Greg Schiano.
Greg Schiano. Oh, Greg Schiano. Yeah, he was 11-21 as an NFL head coach and 87-95 as a college coach. 6-2 in bowl games though. So he's a great college. He's a okay to decent college coach, all for NFL coach.
Yeah. And that's the thing. If you're not a good coach, it's cool. But I believe people should go where they thrive,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Well,
And if you're not thriving at that, maybe it's not your thing. Maybe it's a different facet.
hey, be
Same
a commentator like Urban Meyer.
same thing when we look at Spags. He's not a great head coach, but he's one of the greatest defensive coordinators ever.
That part.
Go where you shine. You don't always have to have the top position to be the best at what you do.
We're talking to you, Kyle Shanahan. This is all we're talking to you. You see how it's all coming together, man. And my last cold fact. Oh my goodness.
Beautiful segue.
The Shanahans had just become the second father-son duo in any of the four major sports leagues, NFL, NHL, MLB, or NBA, to make the championship round in their respective sport, joining the Lester and Lynn Patricks, who coached the New York Rangers and Boston Bruins. Those are
hockey.
Yes. Hey Kyle, win.
Okay, and then what's the second duo?
And then that's the only coaching duo. But I just wanted to highlight the Griffeys. Black History Month. I gotta salute my people. Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr. in 1990. Both played for the Mariners, and they made history as it's the first father-son duo to hit back-to-back home runs in the game.
Now that's a cool fact.
To expand further, Ken Griffey Sr. played 19 years, mostly with the Reds. He won the World Series in 1975 and 1976, three-time All-Star. 1980 MVP. Wait, he was named the most 1980 All-Star Game MVP and the Reds Hall of Famer. His son, Ken Griffey Jr., played 22 years with the Mariners and the Reds, and also a baseball Hall of Fame in 2016, seventh all-time in home runs, 13-time All-Star, 10 Golden Glove winner, and he played center field, American League MVP in 1997, led the league in home runs 4 times during his career. And like I said, in 1990, both Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr. played for the Mariners, and both hit home runs in back-to-back at-bats. So
then I think this kind of goes back to that Niels Bohr thing of that family culture, right? The Shanahans have that family culture. The Harbaughs have that family culture. Wait, what about? Oh, I guess it doesn't count NCAA because then it would have been Jim Harbaugh and his father.
Italian? Why not?
Yeah.
That.
Yeah. When even in families in general, you tend to see if one level or that older generation was in that field, and that's what you grew up seeing, and that's the culture that you aspire to, and that's where you get that positive feedback. That's why we see so many father-son brothers and different things doing this in athletics and even in other fields. You know?
Dad was a teacher for a long time. I'm a teacher.
Yeah. You know? And yeah, and maybe we'll see LeBron and his son play together on the same court, hopefully either next year or the year after that.
It's looking that way. And it could have been for the Warriors.
Talk to me. What's going on?
So during the trade deadline, there were reports suggesting that the Warriors tried to trade for LeBron James. Obviously, LeBron's on Lakers, so it didn't happen. And this isn't the first time this has been hinted at. A few things. Apparently, Steph Curry and LeBron James were born in the same hospital.
Oh, in Ohio?
Yeah, because I think Dell was a Cab and Steph was, so. But anyway, and I think in 2017 there were reports that LeBron, no, not 2017, maybe 2019, there were reports that LeBron was headed to the Warriors because he was just tired of not being able to beat them. I think it was Cap, but what they say with the smoke. And now the Warriors swung for LeBron and struck out. But hey, it could have happened. And if it happened, man, oh man.
Do you think that would have tainted LeBron's legacy?
Maybe. I feel like he's all his legacy. Like if you hate LeBron, you're not gonna not like LeBron. If you like LeBron, you're not gonna. If you wait, that's that right. If you hate LeBron, you're never gonna like LeBron. If you like LeBron, you're probably never gonna hate him.
Yeah.
So I play the middle. He's a hooper and he gets buckets. So as long as he does that, I am where I am.
Yeah, I'm a LeBron apologist, so I'm a fan.
Yeah. I don't know if they were teammates, but Hassan Whiteside, he's called it a career. He's hung it up. He in 2K, I was playing 2K, and I'll be like, I never always had the latest 2K, so sometimes I had to I had to update the roster manually.
Mhm.
So I had to make my own trades and all that, write everything down, go in the game and update the roster myself.
You're dedicated.
Oh, absolutely. So one day I was coming home from church. This is a crazy story. I don't know why I remember this, but I was coming home from church. I was listening to a Heat game. I keep hearing Hassan Whiteside blocked. Hassan Whiteside blocked. I was like, Hassan Whiteside? You mean the the second rounder from Sacramento who didn't get any who wasn't getting PT? All right, I guess he's hooping. So yeah, it's safe to say he had a late prime. He was a late boomer. He was drafted in the second round by Sacramento. He was in the D League. I think it was called the D League back then for a few years. Went around. I think he was even in China for a little bit, and signed a deal with the Heat, and his career took off from there. Um, in 2015 matchup against the Clippers, he put out 23 points, 16 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. And it was all systems go from there. He finished fourth in most improved voting. He got his big contract, and he made a very lengthy career, even going back to Sacramento for a little bit. Um, Averaging 13 points and 11 rebounds for his career with 2.2 blocks. And as of 2 days ago, he informed the Piratas de Quebradas of the Superior National Basketball League in Spain, probably, that he's retiring. Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico.
He's playing in Puerto Rico right now.
He was. The
Hmm.
BSN is the first tier level professional men's basketball league in Puerto Rico. Founded in 1929 by the Puerto Rican Basketball Federation. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. He might be Puerto Rican, but if he's not, I'm not. I don't want to misassess, but I think he is.
Oh, and also for Hassan Whiteside, he has a season where he had 100% 3-point percentage and a season where he had a 0% 3-point percentage.
There you have it. There you have it.
He's a 7-footer.
I think he's 6'10".
No,
I'm
he's a
he's
seven
seven
footer.
even, 7 even, listed 7 even.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he led the league in rebounding in 2017, and then led the league in blocks his first year with Portland. After leading the league in blocks with Miami prior to that, so I would say he's had a pretty good career. No All-Star appearances, but he is a G League champion,
Mm-hmm.
and he led the NCAA in blocks since 2010. So he
Mm-hmm.
will clean your glass. First team All Index,
Yep.
Hassan Index.
And quick mention, his dad was in the NFL. He played for the Buccaneers in '83 and the Vikings in '84.
Oh, that's fire! Salute! Shout out to Pops.
Yeah. What else we got?
Oh, let me see. Oh. So there was a brief period in time where I was like a Clipper fan, but it was very brief. And I just like that team. I wanted them to win. I thought they could win it all.
Mhm.
And they kept getting deboed by the Warriors. So the Steph Curry has always been probably enemy number one because he always beat the Clippers in the playoffs just about every single year. And you know, I bring that up because Klay Thompson obviously is a key contributor to a lot of the success that the Warriors have had. And I want to just tip my cap. He tore his ACL and tore his Achilles in the 18-month span, came back from that and won a ring. And now he's finding his footing again. He's the only player in NBA history to record multiple games with 12 or more made threes. Um, he also has the most in NBA history. He has more games with 12 made threes than his teammate Steph. On April 9th of last season, he made his 300 3-pointer. So that it puts him in the class of only Steph, James Harden, and himself. only 3 people to make 300 3-pointers raid. Yeah, I'll get all the cold facts today. I'm sorry. So yeah, I want to tip my cat to Steph to Klay Thompson as well.
Okay. Huh. So it's you said Steph, Clay, and who?
James Harden.
James Harden. Not even LeBron has done that.
Let's see. In the season.
Oh,
Yeah.
in a season.
Yeah, in the season.
That's a lot of threes. I mean, you have to if you play all 82 games, that's 2 to 3, more than above 3 threes per game.
Yeah.
Yep. So Klay Thompson, what do you think about Klay Thompson kind of taking that step back? I think he said that he was willing to take that step back.
Well, you tore your ACL and your Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
So all your what's the word? What's the word for bounce that people be vertical? Thank you. All your verticality is like then their shot. And you're 35, 34. You'll be 30. Yeah, you just turned 34 last week. So chill, bro. Chill. Chill. I know you dropped 60 points on 11 dribbles. So you actually don't need to touch the ball.
That's
So
fair.
so do what you do. And if they say we're gonna cut your PT, do what you do.
That's true.
I don't know if he's gonna get. I think he's trying to get. I think he's trying to re-up his deal, and the talks that might not happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where some of the tension is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, bro, you made a lot of money. Sometimes you can't get everything.
That's fair.
Yeah, he's a free agent at the end of this season.
Okay.
He's open to a reduced role, but he wants to stay with GSW.
Yeah, I think he'll take the minimum if they gave it to him. I think he wants to stay with the Warriors for the rest of his career.
Apparently, he was according to reports, he was offered a 2-year, $48 million extension last year. He said no.
Oh, tripping.
According to reports, we don't know if it's true, so we'll see.
Oh my goodness. If that is true, not gonna lie to you, buddy, Klay Thompson, you should have took that.
Yeah, don't play on the last year of your deal. If they give you a deal, take it.
Exactly.
Just take it.
When you're playing well, take it. Because then they got you covered for when you're injured.
Yeah.
And if
like,
they
come
cover
on.
and if they cut you later, it's dead money and they gotta pay you anyways.
Don't go into the last year of a contract without more money. I keep telling y'all, don't do it.
What are Klay Thompson's career earnings?
A lot. Probably 250 mil.
I don't mean a pocket check, but
No, you can't. He's famous.
okay. How do I check this?
Shout out to the good brothers at Spot Track. I would love an endorsement because I use your website a lot.
Spot track.
Klay Thompson has amassed $266 million in 13 years.
Oh wow. Yeah, buddy, you should.
Most recently, he's making 43 million this year.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, hey, yeah, you should have took that money.
Yeah, because they gave him he tore his ACL and they gave him the max, and then he tore his Achilles. So you were just chilling, getting paid, and then you won the ring, and now your contract is about to expire.
Huh.
I feel like you're trying to have your cake and eat it too, and you shouldn't take that pay cut. You got 2 career-ending injuries and the championship, and you got paid.
And his primary awards was in 2014 and 2015. He was all NBA third team. Don't get me wrong, Klay Thompson is a great shooter, but you should have took the money, bro. You know you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, you're cooked.
I mean, regardless, even if he calls it a career, you made $250 million. So
you got 4 chips, and your dad. I think Michael Thompson's in the Hall of Fame. So yeah, you got enough staying, bro. Like what else do you need?
yeah. Oh, Spot Track, you can see players' fines.
Yeah, shout out to Spot Track.
Huh. Okay. All right. What else we got?
Klay Thompson doubled his dad in championships.
That's fire. What else we got going on?
Michael Thompson. One B is an alien. We know this already.
Yeah.
He had a triple double with blocks. He had 27 points, 14 rebounds, and 10 blocks. That doesn't happen often. The only other people I know who have done that, I think it was Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem might have had a quad dub, but if you have a quad dub, you have a triple double. So I think Hakeem Olajuwon did it.
And
He's a
Draymond.
huh?
And Draymond Green did it. He did it. He did 10 assists, 10 rebounds, and 10 blocks. He just didn't get 10 points.
The most black tops box score ever. But yes, I do. Wemby is the fourth rookie to record a triple double that included blocks. Mark Eaton and Ralph Sampson did it. Ralph Sampson was his comp coming into the league. Ralph Sampson was a number one overall pick from the Rockets in the 70s, I think. Don't quote me. So yeah, the track record is looking it's looking, it's holding true.
Might honestly do like a whole jersey haul. Just get all the jerseys that I've been meaning to get. I'm definitely gonna need me a Wemby jersey for the foreseeable future. I need a LeBron jersey, Kobe,
So during COVID, and
Lamar.
y'all know Jordan. Shout out to Jordan, my brother. We
Mhm.
used to talk on the phone, and we would say we would get two jerseys from every sports franchise, one popular one, and one who the heck is that?
Mm.
It's like one of them niche buckets
Mhm.
that's like if you know, you know.
Mhm.
That's why I do the immaculate grade because I like niche buckets.
Mm.
So like I would get like a Gilbert Arenas jersey and who's like an obscure wizard, like a Dominic McGuire jersey or something like that.
Yeah, obscure. That's obscure.
Yeah, and then for football, I'll get like a Ray Lewis jersey and
uh uh
obscure Raven.
Geno Stone isn't obscure. Who's
No,
obscure?
like they're like who the like
Moses,
Devontae Freeman.
like a Moses jersey.
Yeah, I got Morgan Moses or Devontae Freeman jersey. That's like I didn't even know he played for the Ravens. Like
Yeah.
something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I always wanted to. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get enough money and I'm gonna do it.
Hey, well, I might take you on with that journey as well.
Yeah,
I think I'll need. I don't even think I'll keep it in the closet. I think I'll just keep it in a chest or something.
yeah, or even just frame it. Because
Yeah.
like, yo, who is that? I was like, oh, that's so and so. He used to play for so and so. He's like the first guy. And you know me, Mr. Colfax.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm gonna get the jersey for a reason,
Mhm.
and that's gonna be to conversations. So yeah.
Absolutely. Um, Jason Williams says he is the best QB that Randy Moss ever played with, and you can ask him on the OG show. And
For
he
those of
says
you, oh, go ahead.
he highlights specifically he has the best arm strength. But go ahead.
For those of you who don't know, Jason Williams played in the NBA.
White chocolate.
White chocolate. He was a bucket. Was he on that championship team in '06? I think he was. But yeah, white chocolate. He played basketball for a long time. But he also played football in high school, I believe. Growing up in West Virginia with Randy Moss. Oh, they both went to Marshall together. I didn't know that.
That's his guy.
Yeah. So yeah, USA Today named Jason Williams a West Virginia Player of the Year in 1994, and Randy Moss even said he was high school. Oh, they were basketball teammates as well. So yeah, he could do both, and I'm sure he did both. I remember him speaking on this and when he did all the smoke with Stack and Matt. I'll pull the quote at some point, but yeah, I believe it, and if it's true, I can't deny it.
Mhm. That's fair, but Randy Moss played with Tom Brady.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. How about
So what do you what do you think about that now?
This is getting quick. With that realization or re-realization, I'll stick with J Dub, yo. White chocolate, best QB Randy Moss ever put.
You're taking Jason Williams over Tom Brady?
Yes.
I just don't know if I can go with Jason Williams over the best QB in NFL history.
The duration of time is longer, I think. I think he played with Randy Moss longer than Tom Brady did. So
I mean, I guess, but Tom Brady is still the greatest QB in NFL history. Do you
hey man,
disagree?
I cannot disagree with that. But hey, what if we don't know how good Jason Williams would have been as a quarterback?
That's fair.
He spared the league and went to go get buckets.
That's fair. I mean,
And
honestly,
yes, he was on that championship team in Miami. He was.
okay. I think honestly, when you're picking between NBA or NFL, I think you should always go NBA. You make more money quicker.
Yeah. You
And
know, Charlie Ward, what's really the Cole Fact show? Charlie Ward. Was it Charlie Ward or Charlie Bell?
Charlie Ward.
I think it was Charlie Ward from Florida State.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, Charlie
Yes.
Ward. Yeah.
He was a Heisman. He won the Heisman and went to the NBA.
Oh, you drafted in the first round.
Yeah.
Pick 26.
He won the Heisman, a football award, and he played in the NBA for a long time.
Professional career, NFL draft. Ward proclaimed he deserved to be a first rounder. Oh, wait. Oh, so Ward stated he was undecided about professional basketball or football and made it clear that he would not consider playing in the NFL unless selected in the first round in the 1994 NFL draft. Ward proclaimed that he deserved to be a first rounder. Ward's mother reported that the family was told he was probably a third to fifth round pick. And due to his small stature and uncertainty about whether he would play in the NBA, Ward was not selected in the first round of the NFL draft. Having been chosen in the first round, 26 overall in the NBA draft by the New York Knicks, he began his career in the NBA as a point guard. And inquiries made during Ward's rookie year with the Knicks for him to become the backup quarterback for Joe Montana of
Oh
the
wow.
Kansas City Chiefs, but Ward declined. Ward is the only Heisman winner to play in the NBA and one of only 3 Heisman winners to play professionally in another Big Four league, including Bo Jackson and Vic Janowicz.
Mm.
And they both played in the MLB.
Deion Sanders was on that list?
Did Deion Sanders win Heisman?
Oh no.
Or am I tripping?
I
I mean, you tell me, I might be tripping.
No, but he did go to Florida State, so there's the connection. But anyway, yeah, another history lesson. Another history lesson. I should save this for Jeopardy, which will be coming very soon, by the way. But yes,
he played a long time in the NBA.
Yeah, well, yeah, over a decade.
I mean, he wasn't.
Serviceable.
He did what he had to do.
Yeah,
I'll say. So, the more you know.
The more you know.
And just so you guys know, for the scripting of the show, like this we just stumbled upon this information. This wasn't even in our notes for real.
90% of everything you hear on this podcast is off the glass.
Yeah.
I promise.
Yeah. But talk to me about Evan Fournier. Did we cover that last week?
No, but we can right now. Evan Fournier says he says he's really excited to finally be out of New York.
Mm-hmm.
And he got traded to the worst team in basketball.
Detroit Pistons, shout out.
So I don't know what sparked that quote. I'm about to do some research, but I think that's crazy that you're going to the worst team in basketball and you're happy.
Yeah.
Mind you, the Knicks look good, very good. So I'm confused on why he's saying this.
But Evan Fournier is also a backup, right?
Yes. Let me see.
That might be why.
He's been itching to be traded away for some time, and he finally got his wish. Looking forward to a new opportunity.
Knicks are looking good though.
I'm still in New York at the moment. I want to leave, but beyond leaving, I want to have the opportunity to get some playing time back. Oh, so he was burned. He's not getting burned. So he went to a trash team. That's lame.
Yeah, just be better.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're playing behind Jalen Brunson, I don't think you're gonna get. Yeah, Jalen Brunson is. Oh snap! Even this season, he's averaging 27.6 points. So I don't think he was getting any play this season.
He even back in May, he said there was no way that this would bring him back this year, and then they did, and he played 3 games.
Hey,
Said I don't have the opportunity. I don't have the opportunity to play, and even worse, I feel like I'm being held hostage. You know, the Pistons did this with Andre Drummond back in the day,
mhm.
and so this happens. Sometimes players just don't want to be there, and depending on who you are, you can do power moves, a la James Harden, a la Kawhi Leonard. So yeah, who are ironically teammates right now. So yeah, obviously when you're a role player, your PT is up for the coach's adjustment. So you gotta take what comes with it or not. I mean, if you don't, you'll end up playing for the worst team in basketball.
So I just thought about this, but how often do we see that a team either has a really good basketball team or a really good football team,
But not both.
but not both? Or like of any of the major big four sports, MLB or hockey, I feel like you can't have a good all four, right? You either got a good baseball team or a good basketball team or a good basketball team or a good football team.
It's like you're like reading my Jeopardy without reading my Jeopardy.
I
Because
am.
Tampa Bay, the city of Tampa, they won in everything at least once in the last like 3 years.
Oh, for real? Oh,
Yeah,
snap.
the Bucks won the Super Bowl. The Rays won the World Series, I think, and the
Mhm.
Lightning won the Stanley Cup. And technically, they don't have a basketball team, but after the Raptors won the NBA championship, when we were trying to get past COVID, they played their home games in Tampa Bay. So
This
by
is a
transfer the property,
that's a gimme. You're stretching it. You're stretching it.
by transfer the property,
Yeah.
they hosted the championship team for a decent amount of time. So yeah, um, I'm gonna see cities big four sports championships.
Because I feel like you can have maybe like two out of the four being good at a time, but all four. Because even look, if you look at DC, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Nats were
The
good.
Nats won, the Caps won, the Defenders won.
Defenders. What is it? What is defenders?
XFL.
Oh, no, that's not a big four. You really tried it.
I
Really
think
tried it.
DC, I think DC United had a
Soccer's not big four in America. Let's be serious.
what is it?
It's,
Football, basketball, baseball, hockey.
yeah, that's the big four. Those sports get paid.
um, but let me see. Multiple major sports. No, let me see. United States teams with championship cities.
Because I like the like what's it called? Like I'm thinking maybe unless you're like a major city, like I think California, but California is so big. Like if you like maybe you were to generalize it to like not even Sacramento, but like the LA, Golden State
Right,
the
right,
area. But then it's
right.
like you got so many football teams, basketball teams in LA that does that really count? Because it's like
So
oh, you can say,
look,
oh, the
there's
49ers and the Rams, and you have
right, right,
Golden
right,
State and the Lakers. But it's
right.
at that point,
So man, I mean, you do the same thing with Texas.
yeah.
So the 13 United States cities with the four teams in all major sports leagues.
Mhm.
That being Boston, Chicago, Dallas, Denver, Detroit, LA, Miami, Minneapolis, St.
Mhm.
Paul, New York, Philly, Phoenix, San Fran, and Washington D.C.
Mhm.
Now, do you want to count the Commanders? They're playing Landover.
Yeah, I'll count that as DC.
Okay, so amongst that squadron of cities, who has the most championships? It doesn't say, but yeah,
I mean, we
Vegas is on their way. You know, the Golden, I think the Golden Knights in hockey won. The Las Vegas Aces won. Shout out to my WNBA fans. And the Raiders are fixing things.
the Raiders could be up next in a few. I think in 5, 6 years, let them
Yeah,
really work out the kinks. I
yeah.
think they have their head coach for the foreseeable future. Um, yeah,
Prior to that, St. Louis, but when they had a football team, um, played each other. Oh no, I read that wrong. St. Louis and Boston have met in multiple championships across sports. They've been in the World Series, the Stanley Cup, and then the NBA Finals because the Hawks used to play in St. Louis, and then in
Hawks
the
used to
Super
be in St.
Bowl,
Louis.
yeah,
Huh.
and then in the Super Bowl with the Rams and then the Patriots. That's an look at these tidbits.
Mm. The
Yeah,
more you know.
the more you know.
Huh. But let's keep it pushing because no, me and you, we can be here all day. We can dissect and talk about this more on the next one. Um,
Absolutely.
going on in I guess throughout the world, other sports news. Kai Cenat inked a deal with Nike. I think he's the first streamer to get a Nike contract.
Salute. Shout out to the boy Kai Cenat. Love it, love it, love it. Especially during Black History Month. Love to see my black people get to the money. And it's giving you an idea of how these sports brands are trying to parlay with like non-sports entities. I think it's a great idea. I
Mhm.
love it. I feel like it's setting the tone. Because I feel like he's kind of in the league of his own with streaming, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And Nike sees that as well. I'm sure this is going to definitely be positive for their stock. So I might have to get me some of that.
absolutely. The deals of their contract haven't been revealed, but via Complex, he said yesterday on his stream, I would like to announce that we are officially a part of the Nike family enthusiastically. This has been a long time in waiting. So apparently they've been working on this for a while, and he is the first streamer to make a deal. So they have something big planned for an upcoming in real life stream in Las Vegas. So, and he's also participating in the NBA All Star Celebrity Game for Team Shannon on February 16th. Hey,
the, the Air Sonats, the AMP Air Force Ones.
AMP Air Force Ones. Hmm. Honestly, I could see an Air Force One. I could see some type of apparel collab, like a Nike
Right, right,
or something like that. Kind of like
right.
how Drake has with the Knock
OVO, yeah, and the Raptors, yeah.
the Nocta, like because he has that like light blue, powder blue Nike Tech, those Nocta puffers and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
definitely interesting to see. And shout out Kai Cenat.
Bust down Roby Avalanche with the Air Force Ones. I'm seeing it. I'm
Yeah.
seeing.
And speaking on new deals inked, Tiger Woods launches new brand Sunday Red with TaylorMade after 27 years with Nike. So TaylorMade is a major golf brand, TaylorMade Golf. They sell a lot of different clubs and things of that nature. So let me see what other information I can find. But give me your thoughts while I do that.
Hey, you lose one, you get another. And sometimes the hustle never stops. And I think that's fire. Shouts to Tiger Woods getting some money per use. Um, and Tiger Woods is launching his own little like I think it's all like the TGF, that little golf thing he's doing, the Sunday night golf or something like that.
Mhm.
So he's making business moves, and he's a businessman. So I like it. I think it's going to be revolutionary for the excuse me, for the sports world. And I'm looking forward to seeing how it, yeah, TGL. That's a TGF? TGL.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, and Mike McCarley will have their first season of the TGL next year. It was founded in 2022. So I think it's gonna be fire. So that's he's built. He's setting the foundation. So I'm
Yeah.
sure him and Red, what's it called? Sunday Red.
Yeah.
I feel like that's gonna be like a nice pairing.
Yeah. So Sunday Red is a men's apparel brand, and they're starting with golf shirts, hoodies, outerwear. And the reason he ended his partnership is because he said he feels like it's the right time in his life to develop his own brand. So this is really a long-term play because I mean he knows he can't play golf forever. And don't get me wrong, Tiger Woods is one of the goats of golf, but everybody has to hang it up at some point. So expanding into having his own brand and pursuing that entrepreneurial venture, he's leveraging that name and brand awareness he has now while still being a top golf player so that he can make something and build something sustainable for his family and for future generations. So shout out Tiger Woods.
Yo, so I don't know if you're familiar with TGL because this is the golf league that he's trying to cook. He's trying to cook up with Rory McIlroy and Mike McCarley. They're
Yeah.
supposed to launch this year, but they got pushed to next year. This sounds fire. So they got 6 teams, and you have a lot of investors: Steph Curry, Iggy, Shaq, D Wade, Josh Allen, a lot of different investors.
Mhm.
And Arthur Blank, owner of the Falcons, he has a team. The Williams sisters have a team. Tiger Woods has a team. Steph Curry has a team, and the ownership group LeBron has with the Fenway Sports, they have a team. So I'm looking forward to it. It's looking very interesting.
Hmm.
Um, it was gonna launch this year, got pushed to next year due to some construction issues,
Hmm.
but I think it's gonna be very fire.
Oh, and wait, did you mention the LA team
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Serena and Venus Williams and Alexis Ohanian? Fun fact: me and Alexis Ohanian went to the same high school, and Alexis Ohanian is the creator of Reddit.
I'm sorry, what? Hey, salute.
Yeah.
Salute. They're married.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Serena and Alexis Ohanian are married. I
Okay.
think they have like
I just thought you were some guy. Okay,
no,
salute.
no, Alexis Ohanian is the guy. You know,
Yeah, that's fire.
no, he made Reddit.
Yeah, that's fire.
Um,
It's
but
very true.
let's talk to me about Mbappe.
Killian. Oh, where are my notes? Where are my notes? Oh no. Pardon me. So I'll give you what I know before I can pull my notes up. Kylian Mbappe, one of the best soccer players of the last half decade. Frenchman, he was doing the thing for PSG, and most recently, I believe he was playing for a Saudi Arabian team called. I don't know, he was offered a deal by the Saudi Pro League,
Mhm.
and it's looking like this summer he'll be no longer playing for Paris Saint-Germain. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of clubs being in the running for his services. And one name to keep an eye on is Real Madrid.
Mhm. I wouldn't be surprised if Real Madrid is able to get him. Um, Mbappe is definitely the definition of a player who is more concerned with the accolades and glory over the money, or he would have took that. What was that deal he got with Saudi Arabia?
Let me see. It was something crazy. I know that much. Let me see. Kylian Mbappe, Saudi offer. He was offered $332 million.
Yeah, $332 million. Oh no, he was offered
Once you
essentially
factor out the fees, the net was 332.
offered Houston 332 million fee, 776 million wage for PSG superstar. He was essentially offered $1 billion contract
Yes.
because I think they'd have to pay $332 million to clear the fees, and then he would make 776 million.
Yes.
but he said no.
And he's currently making 36 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, that's a tough deal to refuse. He was essentially offered almost $1 billion,
yeah.
but at what cost? That would have been for probably a lot of years, and he probably loses a lot of control and decisiveness over where he gets to go.
Right.
Yeah.
No. $1.1 billion for 1 year.
Oh, he's
So the transfer fee was 332, and the salary was 776. 1 year.
oh, okay.
And he could have left Real Madrid afterwards.
What would
And
you do in this situation, Dan?
me personally,
Yeah.
$1 billion for 12 months of service. Man, I understand. Saudi Arabia is Saudi Arabia. It's not the most ideal living situation, but it's $1 billion for 12 months of service. Nobody wants to go in the wilderness, right? But if I'm going into the wilderness with food and water, it's not any food. It's chicken a la whatever
Mm-hmm.
and water from the springs of wherever. Yeah, I'm taking the bread. And then I'm leaving.
Fair point. Fair point.
Man he could have out earned every NBA player ever in a year.
Yeah, I wonder what went into that decision. I guess that's more of like a deal you make the older you get, like the way Cristiano Ronaldo's taking the bag in Saudi Arabia. So I get it. I understand.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
1.1 bill?
Yeah. And let's say after taxes and fees and what goes to his agents and stuff, you're left with like 500 or 400 million.
Yeah,
You're good. You're good, bro.
very, 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 very. Ronaldo. Oh well, the 2034 World Cup will be in Saudi Arabia. I didn't know that. Ronaldo. Let's see. He joined the Al Nassr because of the because of the bread. So yeah, depending on where you are, you make decisions according to how you think is appropriate.
Mhm.
He recently scored his first goal. Oh, shout out to Ronaldo. First goal in the 1-0 victory against Al Nassr and I mean against Al Beha.
Hmm. Okay. Hey, shout out Ronaldo. Shout out Ronaldo. But before we close out, talk to me about what's going on in Perth, Australia.
Perth. Yes. As y'all know, I like my wrestling. And the elimination chamber will be that's
What
the
is
name
it?
of
Can you explain what that is?
yes. So the elimination chamber is it's an event based off of a name of a match type in the World Wrestling Entertainment business. I think it was nicknamed the Devil's Playground because it's a very seriously physically demanding place to fight. It's a chain link structure. Let me get the metrics. But yes, you will have 4 pods and six participants in total. Let me get the measurements. It was founded in 2002, created by Triple H. It is steel enclosing the ring, and the floor is platformed. Yeah, it's a very serious fight. 16 by 36 in diameter, 10 tons of steel, and it's been the annual staple in wrestling since 2010. So they're taking it to Perth because the WWE has started to expand in its international pay-per-views, premium live events. They've been in Saudi Arabia. I think most recently they were in. Dang, I'm skipping it. But yeah, they've done a lot in Saudi Arabia and then in other countries. They'll be in France. They'll be in France following this Australia event. So yeah, world tour, literally.
Hmm. Okay, I'm not too tapped into the wrestling circuit, but that's interesting. Where can people check that out, or is that not starting this year?
It will be next Saturday, February 24th. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be on Peacock and they'll be available on pay-per-view.
Okay,
So
okay.
start time for especially start time for you East Coast gentlemen and ladies like myself. I'm a
EST.
EST. The start time is the 4:30 in the morning.
Oh,
So I'll catch it on YouTube when I wake up.
yeah, yeah. Let me know where the recording is. I'd like to
Yeah,
check that out too.
yeah. But if you're in Australia, it's at 8:30 p.m.
Okay, but yeah, no, this is a good pod, man.
Absolutely. Oh, shoot. Absolutely.
Um, but yeah, thank you guys for listening to the Fever Pitch podcast. I think we gave you guys a few interesting tidbits, and let us know how we're doing. We like to improve this podcast for you guys. Our goal is to really democratize um sports commentary and entertainment. Dan comes with the analysis and the facts, and I come with the hot takes. But all in all, I think that what we want to really hear from is you guys. We want to include more of your guys' takes, and we want to have you guys on the podcast. So let us know. In the future, we definitely like to do like call-ins and things like that. But as we're getting started up, follow us on Instagram to stay up to tune at Fever Pitch Pod. Check us out on Spotify or Apple Podcasts at the Fever Pitch Podcast. And we're on YouTube as well for the visuals. So you can see Dan's lovely face, you know.
I made a New Year's resolution for this podcast. I'm watching baseball and hockey this year. I'm gonna do it. Hockey
Oh,
already started.
mhm,
So I'm gonna watch the playoffs.
mhm.
And then eventually I will cover baseball and hockey.
Okay.
By this time next year, I'll be covering baseball and hockey on this podcast in
Okay,
full.
bet. Okay, bet. Yeah. But yeah, let us know how we're doing. Leave a 5-star review on the platforms. It's good for the analytics, and subscribe to us on YouTube if you aren't already.
Definitely.
But as always, I'm Brian.
And then
Thank you guys for listening to the Fever Pitch podcast, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
take care. God bless.